Alright, welcome back. This is part 2 of the troll and the second half of the nose. So in part 1 we finished crocheting up to row 8, then we stuffed the nose, and now we're going to continue on with rows 9 through to the end of row 20. So grab your crochet hook and let's get started. Now we don't need a stitch marker anymore because we're going to be working in straight rows. Pinch the top of the nose together. You can see where my hook is. My last stitch is on the side. So I'm going to pinch it together, putting those stitches right across from each other. And now we're going to crochet through both sides. So we're going to go through 2 stitches at once and put in a single crochet. Alright, now we're going to do that again in the next stitch over, going through both sides at once. And there was another single crochet. We're going to put 2 more in. And then last one. Alright, that was the end of row 9, and now you can see we have 4 stitches across. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to chain 1 and turn. Skipping that chain we just made, we're going to put 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and then 2 single crochets in the next 2, and then 1 single crochet in the last stitch of the row. So remember to skip that chain, go into the first stitch of the row, put a single crochet, and now 2 single crochets in the next 2 stitches. Make sure to go through both loops of your stitch. There's 1, going back in the same stitch hole, and there's 2. And now 2 single crochets in the next one. 1 and 2. And now 1 single crochet in the last stitch of the row. Just make sure you're going through both loops. Very easy to pick up just 1. Okay, that was the end of row 10, and now we have 6 stitches across. We're going to chain 1 and turn. Chain 1 and turn. Now skipping that starting chain, we're going to put 1 single crochet in each one of those 6 stitches. So you can see the loops of the stitch, or the V of the stitch, on top, and if you just looking directly at it, you can see the stitch holes. You want to put 1 single crochet in each one of those stitches across. Skip that starting chain. There's 1. Make sure you're going through both loops of your stitch each time you go through. And that's the end of row 11, and we still have 6 stitches across. Chain 1 and turn. And then row 12 is 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochets in the next 2, and then 1 in the next 2. 1 single crochet, and then 1 single crochet in the next, and now 2 single crochets in the next 2 stitches. That's 1, 2, and then repeat that, 1 and 2, and now 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1, 2. That's the end of row 12, and now we have 8 stitches across. Chain 1 and turn. Rows 13 to 17 is 1 single crochet in each one of those 8 stitches for 5 rows. So we're going to put 1 single crochet in each one of those stitches across, chain 1 and turn, and do it again, and we're going to repeat that 5 times. So if you don't want to count in your head, keep a little notepad beside you. Each time you get to the end of the row and you chain 1 and turn, mark a little notch on your notepad. Once you have 5 notches, we'll meet back here. Remember to chain 1 and turn at the end of each row, and to skip that chain when you start the new row. I will continue on with the pattern. I'll meet you back here at the end of row 17. Alright, I've already chained 1 and turned. I'm at the end of row 17. I'm ready to move on to row 18. I'm going to skip that starting chain, 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, then 2 single crochets in the next 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Let's do it together. Skipping that starting chain, 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3, and now 2 single crochets in the next 2 stitches. And now 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. That's the end of row 18, and now we have 10 stitches across. Chain 1 and turn. So rows 19 and 20 is 1 single crochet in each one of those 10 stitches. So we're going to do 2 more rows of single crochets. Remember to skip that starting chain. Remember to chain 1 and turn at the end of this row. I'll continue on with the pattern. I'll meet you back here at the end of row 20. I just reached the end of row 20. There's no need to chain 1 and turn because now we're done. We're going to pull out the last stitch so we don't lose it. And we're going to cut a long finishing yarn tail because we're going to use this yarn tail to sew the nose to the head. So I just left myself a pretty good length there. And I'm going to pull that yarn tail through this loop. Just pulled it through that loop, get it down to about there, and then pull tight. Now we can set the nose aside and go on to make more parts of the troll. Alright guys, that brings us to the end of this video. Now we can set the nose aside and go ahead and make the troll's head. We're going to start at the head. Actually, the head and the body are worked in one piece, but we're going to attach the nose and some eyes along the way. So head on over to part 3 and I'll meet you over there.